Hello, dear friends. Welcome to another edition of HerStance, where we believe that a different perspective can unlock the true significance of women's contributions to history, and by re-examining their stories, we will inspire and empower today's young leaders and influencers to take a new stance on women's place in society. Now, you've probably heard of Mary Magdalene. Maybe you picture a fallen woman, a repentant sinner. Or perhaps you think she's named after a place called Magdala. But the truth is, Mary is far more fascinating. The idea that she was a prostitute is a stubborn myth, one that has plagued her image for centuries. And Magdalene actually hints at a deeper truth about her identity, a truth that connects her to something truly profound. In this video, we're going to delve into the real story of Mary Magdalene. We're going to explore her journey beyond the Bible, uncovering a powerful figure who wasn't just a follower of Jesus, but a spiritual seeker and truth bearer. You might be surprised to learn that Mary Magdalene represents something far greater than you ever imagined, a symbol of our own divine potential. There is actually no evidence in the Bible that Mary Magdalene is actually a fallen woman. In 1969, Pope Francis, Pope of the Catholic Church, declared that she was not such a woman and pronounced June 22nd a feast day in her honor. Unfortunately, once labeled, these stigmas tend to linger. The canonical Gospels, which are Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, as well as the Gnostic Gospel of Mary, an entire gospel just about her, mentioned Mary being afflicted with 7 demons. This doesn't necessarily mean that she was possessed, but could indicate a physical affliction or inner trials that she needed to face in order to feel whole, to feel the peace that Jesus was talking about, to feel fully loved and on the path. Jesus cured her, and from this time forward, she was a devout follower. Despite her struggles, Mary was clearly a strong and independent woman. She was financially independent, able to support herself and support Jesus' ministry. She was a constant companion, following him throughout his travels and remaining by his side even during his crucifixion. She is also depicted as a spiritual seeker, asking questions, doing the inner work of herself, wanting to understand at a deeper level. Not a blind follower, but wanting true gnosis, knowledge. So let's put a pin in that for just a second and talk about her name. Now, you might think Magdalene refers to the town of Magdala, but there's no definitive evidence for this. The Aramaic word Magdala actually translates to tower or fortress, suggesting strength and power. And this aligns perfectly with Mary's character, a woman of courage and resilience. She drops everything to follow Jesus. We see many times in the scriptures where she performs courageous acts, where other disciples don't agree with her actions or her words or don't believe what she says. And yet, She stands calmly in her own truth, not raising her voice, not approaching conflict with anger, but calm and steadfastness. And later, we will hear about a harrowing journey of escape in a storm, and she is the voice of calm and a tower of strength. One of the intriguing aspects of Mary Magdalene's story involves her close relationship with Jesus. In ancient times, a sacred union between a king and a queen, known as Hieros Gamos, was believed to have divine significance. The queen, often a princess, represented the land and people, and her anointing of the king was a crucial part of his coronation. She merely had to anoint who she chose, and he became her king. In the Gospels, we see Mary anointing Jesus with expensive perfume. In the stories, the disciples are adverse to this and say, "Woman, why are you wasting such a expensive resource? We could be selling that and feeding the poor." And Jesus says, "Leave the woman alone. You will always have the poor, but you will not always have me." And he goes on to say that she is preparing for my burial. Many, a scholar, interpret this as a marriage. The Gnostic texts, such as the Gospel of Mary and the Gospel of Philip, definitely depict the relationship between Jesus and Mary as a very deep love and partnership. So it is important to note that in ancient times, preparing a body for burial, such as what Mary did after the crucifixion, was typically a task reserved only for close members of the family, particularly wives. It was not done where women prepared a corpse after death for burial, anointing that with other oils and wrapping it in gauze and preparing it for burial. This was not done. So Mary's role in preparing Jesus' body further emphasizes the profound depth of their relationship. Mary courageously stood by Jesus throughout all of his trials, all of his 3 years of teaching, even witnessing his death. And today, we might refer to a person who does such a thing as a death doula. She looked this devastation directly in the eye. She held space for it. She witnessed. And then she went into the tomb, which would have been very dark. She wasn't afraid to do this work, both literally and figuratively. She went deep. Ultimately, she was the first to witness the empty tomb, becoming a key figure in the resurrection. She was the first among the disciples because she went back to the tomb on the day after Sabbath and was the first to see the angels waiting there. She cried seeing that he was not there any longer, and the angels told her, "He is risen. Go tell the good news to the other disciples." That put her in a very special place. But the story of Mary Magdalene does not end with the resurrection and the canonical Gospels. Legend has it that a small group of Jesus followers, including Mary Magdalene, Joseph of Arimathea, and Lazarus, fled persecution in Jerusalem. They embarked on a perilous journey across the sea, seeking refuge in a distant land. And according to these ancient tales, they faced a raging storm. They were in a little boat that was rudderless and lost its oars. But amidst the chaos, Mary Magdalene's prayers calmed the tempest, guiding their small boat to safety. These legends speak to the profound reverence and admiration for Mary Magdalene that has persisted through the centuries. By uncovering the Gnostic Gospels and the other non-canonical yet persistent stories of Mary Magdalene, you can see how the narrative of divine feminine has all but disappeared from modern theology. In early Christianity, we saw Jesus emphasizing compassion, healing, the joy of human connection, dining with friends, going to a wedding, women at his side, a part of his life. And then later interpretations taught today and in structures of the modern church prioritizes spiritual purity and the rejection of earthly pleasures. This shift in focus marginalized the role of women and the importance of the physical body. Mary Magdalene, as a powerful and independent woman who embodied both the earthly and the divine, became a symbol of the suppressed divine feminine. Her story serves as a poignant reminder of the importance of embracing our wholeness, standing in our truth, recognizing the sacredness of the body, and honoring the wisdom of both reason and intuition. Remember, she was a seeker of truth. She was the one asking the deep questions. And she was also there as a helpmate, a companion to Jesus. Today, there is a growing movement that is reclaiming Mary Magdalene's story. Women's circles, books, poetry, art, they're all contributing to a renewed understanding of her significance. No longer just a disciple, Mary Magdalene is now seen as a powerful teacher, a divine bride, embodying the wholeness and balance of the divine. She represents integration of the feminine and the masculine, of spirit and logic. The renewed understanding of Mary Magdalene has the potential to inspire profound change. By embracing our own power and wisdom, we as women can become agents of transformation, working towards a more just, equitable, and harmonious world. Our world needs us to step into the legacy of Mary Magdalene by embracing our own divine feminine, cultivating our inner wisdom, and stepping into our role as teachers, healers, and peacemakers. Together, as we rise in our brilliance, we can restore and create new, significant places of influence that reflect the beauty and balance of the divine. Thank you so much once again for joining me on HerStance. I hope you'll make some comments. Let me know that you're enjoying the stories of these important women from the past, bringing them forward to the future. And I look forward to seeing you again in our next video.